Hi everyone. Okay, you are looking at a re-release 2016 Tamiya Blackfoot. Don't be fooled, it's not an 86. So the purpose of this video is to give those of you that might be interested in getting your own 2016 Blackfoot with a view to getting it cosmetically as close to an 86, the original Blackfoot, as possible. So I'm going to talk you through this completed Blackfoot and kind of tell you, after my hours of research, comparing the manuals, comparing box art, comparing catalogue pictures, as to exactly what needs to change and what you need to look out for to make those cosmetic changes happen. Bit of housekeeping first. I'm not saying that this is the best way to do a 2016 Blackfoot. However you complete your Blackfoot is a very, very personal thing. Secondly, I'm not affiliated to any of the suppliers in any way, which I'm going to mention in this video. It's just after my own research and trying a couple of different options. The suppliers which I decided to use for this particular Blackfoot were hands down the absolute best ones, for reasons that I'll give a little bit later on. So I'll talk you through the truck and yeah, let's get started. So commencing at the rear, of course the tailgate is very different compared to the 2016 model. So 2016 model does not have any Ford lettering, doesn't have any branding, Ford branding on the truck anywhere. So that's the first thing you need to fix. To do that, you've got two options. One is pretty easy and pretty cheap, and one is a little bit more complicated and a little bit more expensive. So option number one is to purchase some stickering from a guy on eBay. He goes by the name Retro Jamie 82. I'll include the link in the description. For £7 delivered into the UK anyway, he will send you this. So as you can see, it's just some vinyl stickering that has the Ford large lettering for the rear and the small lettering for the bonnet. We'll get to the hood, the bonnet in a few moments' time. Now, as you can see, I decided not to go for this after purchasing it for £7. What I went for instead, hopefully it's picking this up on the video, was some 3D printed Ford lettering from AMPro Engineering. Again, link in the description. They supply these letters through a 3D printing marketplace called Shapeways. And what they actually send you looks like this. So as you can see, you've got three sets of branding there. You've got the large Ford lettering for the tailgate, you've got the smaller Ford lettering for the bonnet, and you've also got the custom F-150 for the side panels. Now, the landed cost to the UK for those anyway, for me, was £27. But then I'm in the UK, so shipping's going to be a little bit more. If you go to the listing page on Shapeways, you'll see that the guy is selling them for I think it's around just over $20. So shipping, depending where you are, could be a little bit different, hopefully a bit cheaper for you. But for me, to get that 3D Ford lettering, raised lettering as per the 86 Blackfoot, well worth it. Now obviously this lettering you apply before paint. I just use Tamiya Cement, work to treat. A top tip for you, I suppose, is to keep the letters on their spruces when you glue the letters to the tailgate, to the bonnet, because the spacing and the letters being straight to each other as well as spaced to each other is absolutely perfect. So rather than cutting the letters out and getting them kind of perhaps a little bit wonky, just to keep them on the spruce, and that keeps everything nice and lined up. Okay, so that's tailgate tip number one. Tailgate tip number two is the indicators or the rear lamps. 2016 manual calls for a sticker to be applied here, which didn't exist in 1986. You had to paint them, simply red at the bottom, white at the top. So in the interests of a cosmetic 86, we have ignored the sticker, we've ignored the 2016 manual, and we've painted them. The good news is Tamiya, I might be letting myself down a little bit here, but Tamiya still include the plastic kind of guidelines on the tailgate itself. So you can't see those now because I've painted it, but it's very, very easy to do. So I think Tamiya kind of half expected, some people at least, to paint these rather than apply the sticker. Last tailgate tip, just on the side of the indicator, the 2016 manual calls for a very small side red sticker to be applied there, which again didn't exist in 86, so we missed that out. Okay, that's the tailgate. Working back onto the rear of the truck now, this is where we start to see some more branding that you don't get in the 2016 box. I'm talking about the Ford stickering there and the Ford F-150 Ranger decal. Now, before I give you a tip as to the supplier for decals, let's just talk about the painting of the tailgate. So the 2016 model calls for the flatbed section there to be painted matte black. Now, the 86 manual says to paint TS-13 all over the truck, the exact same colour. So that's what we've done, and that includes the roll bar there with the KC daylighter light buckets on the rear there. The 86 manual calls for all of those to be painted. The 2016 manual doesn't. So you wouldn't have to paint the roll bar, you wouldn't have to paint the light buckets if you were doing 2016, but we're going to 86, so we had to paint those components. But the good news is we didn't have to bother masking off the flatbed to do a matte finish, because we could just do it all in Tamiya TS-14, all the same colour. So that's the flatbed, the roll bar and the light buckets. Now, KC daylighter stickers, which don't exist in 2016, you get, I think they're light brights or something. And also, yeah, getting back to some of the other stickers. So, what are your options here? There are sellers on eBay which for about £11–12 will send you a full kit of Blackfoot decals per 1986 branding. I tried a couple, and in my opinion, they are absolutely nowhere near Tamiya spec primarily in terms of coloration and sharpness of the decal. Now, that's with one exception. There's an American supplier called, in fact they may be Canadian, I'm sorry, but they're called MCI Racing, and those guys sent me a sticker pack for the Blackfoot, which for me in the UK was about £16 landed, so it's about £4 more than the eBay sellers in the UK anyway, which I would describe as probably 96% accurate. I'll give you an idea of the coloration difference. Hopefully this will pick up. So on this particular Blackfoot, I've used as many of the 2016 stickering as I possibly could, and I've kind of amalgamated MCI Racing's 86 Blackfoot sticker pack wherever I kind of needed to. So let's see if this kind of picks it. I don't know if it's going to pick up on the video, but the colour on the MCI Racing is very slightly darker versus the Tamiya spec stickers. They're not quite as glossy, they're not quite as sharp, and that comes into play particularly on the quarter panel here, where it says painted by design specialists, and it's just not quite as sharp with MCI Racing. Slight crease there, sadly. So what do? Well, the good news is you've got options to kind of deliver it. So, as I said, what I did in this particular instance was use as many of the 2016 stickers as I could, because they're genuine Tamiya, they're brighter, they're sharper, and they're exactly the right colours. Now, the problem is, on the Jake's Motorsport sticker here, the 2016 model calls for I think it's G Racing emblem to be stuck there instead of Bel Ray. Now, if you did an 86 Blackfoot back in the day, you may remember that Bel Ray logo was amalgamated into the whole quarter panel sticker, so it wasn't a separate sticker. In 2016, The G Racing square sticker, which replaces the Bel Ray sticker, is actually an additional sticker. And I think the reason for that is there's a very small slit that you have to kind of make in the Jake's Motorsport quarter panel sticker, which you can't see now because it's kind of hidden beneath the Bel Ray sticker, which I think Tamiya have put in to help that Jake's Motorsport sticker apply to the shell a little bit better. That wasn't the case in 86. You didn't have to make a slit in that sticker, you just put it on, and people had pretty big problems with the crinkling of the yellow line and a bit more creasing on the decal generally. So that got me thinking, well, okay, if I've got to apply the G Racing sticker over Jake's Motorsport anyway, maybe I can just cut the Bel Ray sticker out from MCI Racing's decal set and over apply it to Jake's Motorsport instead of G Racing. That's what I did, and that gave me, I think, pretty much a perfect 86 sticker in that instance. Moving on to the front panel now. Three things to think about here, or three or four things actually. BF Goodrich, obviously, that's an MCI Racing sticker. No coloration or sharpness issues because it's more of a simplistic decal. Secondly, the door lock there, which I need to tidy that up a bit, not done a great job so far. A lot of people just sticker over that and then it just looks like an air bubble. The door lock is a piece of raised plastic on the shell, so I tried to kind of make a small hole in the 2016 decal and over apply it to get rid of that kind of air bubble effect, if you like. It's come out okay, needs a bit of tidying up. So that's the first thing to think about. Now, if you look at the manual, the 86 manual, there is a hole there in the pictures of the truck, and indeed in the catalogue shots as well. They have made a hole there which they've painted chrome. So if that's what you're looking to emulate, then there's something to look out for. Second thing, this goes back to AMPro's F-150 branding. So you've got a couple of options here. The 86 decal had two holes, rectangular holes, one for custom and one separate one for F-150 down there, which you would line up when you applied the decal to the shell, because custom and F-150 were amalgamated into the shell. So again, that was raised plastic lettering. So if you're looking to be 100%, you could cut your own rectangle holes in your 2016 decal and then stick on your custom and F-150 logos into those holes after you've painted them. However, if you look at the catalogue shot, this is more authentic. Painting the custom and F-150 logos before applying and then just gluing them over the decal. Again, I just used Tamiya Cement for this. Did a few test runs, didn't look like it was going to damage the decal in any way, and it hasn't. They've just applied nicely and they're on there quite securely. I think that's a better finish for me than cutting the black holes in and trying to line them up and applying the custom F-150s directly to the shell itself before decals. So that was my solution anyway. I think it's come out looking pretty good. Okay, final two things for the side here. You'll notice the Ford logo there. Again, as with the Bel Ray sticker, I've just cut out the Ford logo from my MCI Racing stickers and over applied it to the Tamiya logo, which is still underneath, and that gives me that 86 front panel Blackfoot decal effect that I was looking for. Second thing to look out for on that decal, in 2016, the front side indicator is included on that decal. So it's just a picture of an indicator, basically. That, again, didn't exist in 86. You had to paint your own side indicator directly onto the shell. So I had to cut out the small rectangle indicator from the decal before applying so that I could paint the indicator on the shell. Now, I did that before I applied the decal, obviously, but also you can still see when you get your 2016 Blackfoot shell that the ridges are still there to paint for the indicator. So I think Tamiya kind of half expected people to still paint the indicators on. So you can what I'm trying to say is you can see where to paint the indicator directly on the shell using those ridges. So that's the side taken care of. Now, this is where you can one-up me, if you like, on your Blackfoot build if you decide to go the 86 cosmetic route. Okay, first things first, you can see the Ford lettering on the front there. Again, from the guys at AMPro. Yeah, really same thing. Left on the spruce, left the letters on the spruce so you could line them up easily. Applied using Tamiya Cement. And there we go, all very nice and looking great. You'll notice on the front grille, well, you'll notice two things. Firstly, this is a 2016 grille. I will include a link in the description for AMPro's grille insert. So they do a solution where you Dremel out this, well, this comes as chrome in the 2016 kit, but you Dremel this whole piece out and you reinsert AMPro's black centerpiece, which gives you the correct kind of grid matrix, if you like, of an 86 Blackfoot grille. Now, I thought about doing that, but it was going to cost me another £30 delivered into the UK. And by this point, I've kind of felt like, you know what, I've done enough. So instead, I'll paint the grille matte black in its entirety, which I've done, as you can see. And for me, right now, that kind of looks fairly decent. But if you wanted to one-up me and go for a 100% 86 cosmetics, then that is what you would need to do. You'll notice that I painted the top half of the main lights clear orange. This is per the 86 box art. So a lot of people paint the bottom sections orange. Again, personal preference, but that's a nod to the box art itself. So final point to make, if you go through the sorry, incoming call on the phone. If you go through the box art and the catalogues, you will find a couple of very small contradictions, in particular the front lights. They're not painted top orange in the catalogue, but they are on the box art. So a bit of it comes down to personal preference and whatever you want to do on your particular Blackfoot. But all things considered, those are the key things to look out for if you want to make a cosmetic 86 Blackfoot from your 2016 kit. I guess all told, it's going to cost you about another £50–60 by the time you've bought a couple of additional paints like red, like white, that you wouldn't necessarily need if you were doing the 2016 manual build. But hey, Rambling Ron appreciates a bit of colour anyway. So yeah, check out the links that you need in the description. Any other questions, let me know in the comments, and thanks for your time in watching.